What's up, people? We're here for our first live stream coming up to the Ravens versus Tennessee Titans. I got my man Charles here with me. I
So,
got Justin here with us. What's going on, Charles?
man, ready for some football for real.
Oh, yeah, it's been a long wait, and tonight is finally the night that we get to see the Ravens in action. So, before we get started, I want to ask, I'm going to go around to each one of y'all and ask what are y'all looking forward to seeing in this game?
You got that, Charles?
Listen, I want to see Justin Tucker kick field goals. We done paid him all this money. I want to see him kick field goals. That's the only thing that's going to happen tonight. He needs to kick an 80-yard field goal for the win. All right, that's what I need to see tonight. That, and I actually want to see who's going to win out. Well, who's going to start stating their claim for number 2 and number 3 wide receiver. I mean, we know Bateman is the number 1, but what is Proche going to give us? What is Duvernay going to give us? What's Wallace, man? They talking about him bad over here, man. Saying he down to number 4 in the depth chart. So,
so who they saying jumped him?
Duvernay and Proche. That's what they saying.
Oh, but that was already the case. I already felt like they was ahead of him anyway.
Yeah, but they saying it's not that much distance between number 4 and number 5. And you know, number 4 and number 5 is a lot of those dudes undrafted guys or guys that was on the practice squad last year. So, you know, that's what I want to see. I want to see Tucker kick an 80-yard field goal.
What's going on, Howard? Appreciate you checking in with us.
I want to see that. And I want to see what this number 3 wideout will look like.
All right, Justin, what you looking forward to?
Well, and particularly with the Ravens, let's say for me, I want to see how the running game is going to be. So you think we already know who 1 and 2 going to be? And I can't remember the cat they drafted, but Justice Hill's kind of like in the mix. So we got him. The running back stable is what I'm interested in. Also, who's after Andrews? Who's the 2 and who's the 3? Because as much as everybody want the Ravens to have this all-pro receiver, the tight ends are just as much as important to that offense as the receivers and the running backs. So running backs and the tight ends for sure. And another thing was the offensive line depth, because you got Moreau coming. You got Big Fella coming back from the injury. You already had Juwan James. He coming back from an injury too.
Yeah.
And then you signed Moses. So it's interesting to see how it's going to work. Offensive line and like I said, tight ends and the running backs.
Yeah, for sure. And when you just mentioned the tight ends, I'm looking forward to seeing Isaiah Likely. I've been hearing all this good stuff about him in training camp on how he been dominating. Like I don't even want to see Andrews. Andrews don't even need to play in this game.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing.
I don't think. Truthfully, it's the dress game, right? So I think if more than anything, you're gonna have your starters probably just really get dressed and do the warm-ups. So you're probably gonna see a lot of the backups. I doubt even if they even let Justin Tucker kick. To be honest,
then I want my money back. If they ain't not letting Justin Tucker kick, I want my money back.
I don't want to see. I mean, I may be in the minority right now, but I don't want to see no starters this whole preseason.
Exactly. I
don't want to see no starters this whole preseason.
I think that I saw the other day when Oakland played, Vegas, when they played and they ran Justin Jacobs like it was week 1. And I was like, okay, that's a little different. That's your starter. So I know the
Ravens trading him. They
showcasing
him.
I heard.
They want to. I mean, it's a good ploy. They already declined his 5th-year option. So
right. So the Ravens are living on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be a good pickup for the Ravens.
That's too much.
Yeah,
that's too much.
They got enough running backs.
Yeah.
No. You looking at the roster, but you gotta think. You got J.K. that's just coming off of ACL.
Okay.
You got Gus is coming off of Achilles. That's probably not going to be ready until halfway through the season. They saying. So really, are you going to be banking on Mike Davis?
Look, don't even trip because you clearly know that you can plug and play. I mean, last year you had 2 guys come in right off the street and did a good job.
They did a decent job, but
right.
They did a
And that's
decent
without
job.
Lamar for 6 games, 7 games.
And they did a decent job with a subpar offensive line.
Exactly.
So let's not lose that, right? Because you had the worst NFL player playing left tackle last year. I was at those games.
Oh
man, that was crazy.
Tough, was man. That's tough. The worst player though.
3 times he didn't even get out of his stance. He was down, and this is what he did. I said, did you just look at him go past you?
Yeah, even look out block.
He was horrible. Horrible. Like if there's a word that's worse than horrible, he was
the worst player. That's either way. I still think that they should be fine with that running back stable. They don't have any issues there, so I don't think that's going to be an issue with them even thinking about trading for Jacobs. But I still want to see how it goes because we know I think they want J.K. to be the horse, and of course Gus, and I don't know who that third guy would be, but it's interesting to see how that's going to work out because Mike Davis been running around the league for 8 years, so.
Yeah, I think you already know what Mike Davis brings to the table. I don't expect to see him much today.
Right.
I think we're going to see a lot of Tyler Beatty, which is the rookie they just drafted. I don't know how far along Justice Hill is. I know he's been practicing, but I don't know if they want to put him out there. He's just coming off a ACL or Achilles, one of the two. So I don't know if they want to put him out there quite yet. But let's talk about some of the position battles, the people that's either starting, competing for starting jobs or just competing for playing time in general. And the first one that I'm interested in, even though I know both are going to play, but the Kyle Hamilton and Chuck Clark battle.
Man,
how you see that playing out?
They got to let Kyle play. I mean, you don't draft him that high not to let him play. I think that Chuck's day is a number. So, end of the day, it's just like, how far along, how fast can the young guy get along and actually pick the defense up and actually not be out there thinking and just playing. So,
but Charles, I'm gonna put this question to you. Week 1, first series, who's out there?
Chuck Clark.
Both of them out there, or just Chuck
first
Clark?
Series, Chuck Clark. Because I mean, first series, 1st and 10 is not an obvious passing down, so you're not going to be 6 DBs in that, right? You're going to probably be big up front, especially if you're playing the Jets. They want to run the ball. I see us just doing standard defense because Kyle Hamilton don't really know the defense, right?
Right.
You can't guess, and when he's guessing, he's not playing fast. So the one thing Harbaugh stressed, he wants us to be able to play fast. So to play fast, you got to know the defense, right? Ins and outs. And you remember 2 years ago, they said that Chuck Clark was the smartest person on defense. He had the players talking about him that way. So I see Chuck Clark. Now, when they go to a 6 DB set, it's clearly going to be Kyle Hamilton out there with Chuck Clark.
Right.
Matching up with the tight end. Or have Chuck Clark jump down and he play in open space because he got great instincts. But either way, that's how he'll see. In my opinion, he's going to see the field early on until he starts to learn the position and able to call out stuff. Then they'll phase him in and out.
Justin, how much play time you think he's going to get tonight?
So this is the thing because his measurables are crazy for him to be a safety. So I don't know. Like, are they going to really blitz as much as they did? Because it's a new defensive coordinator. So if they are as aggressive as they used to be, I mean, I would imagine the versatility and then the size. If he can cover a tight end as well as he did in college, because at Notre Dame he was everything on defense. So if he can do that at this level, then I honestly see him maybe out there 60% to 70% of the snaps come week 1.
What do you think about as far as tonight? How much you want to see him out there tonight?
Not much. Probably a quarter, if that, maybe 15, 20 snaps.
Yeah, remember he got hurt at some point last week, right?
Yeah,
The Ravens are hypersensitive with injuries and all that, and they need to find out what they're going to do with Geno Stone, right?
He's
guys
gonna play a lot tonight, I'm
right.
sure.
You need to kind of figure out where you going to do with those guys, because we stack at safety.
Right. You stack at DB, period. I mean, you look at your corners and your nickels, man. Listen, you know the position is stacked, because last year they were able to even trade a guy. So
let me go to this question. So why can't DeRook and Chuck both be on the field most of the time with Marcus Williams? With heavy passing games, won't be uncommon to have 3 safeties on the field. Oh, that's for sure.
Well, that's what we're talking about with the 3B.
Yeah, they are going to be on the field. Yeah, they're going to be on the field together
and
a lot.
That's what the defensive coordinator was known for at Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. That's why they didn't best heavy in middle linebackers. It's an outside linebacker and DB scheme. Hence how you get Hutchinson, a number 1 pick, and what's the guy we just read second round? Ajabo. That's how their stock rose, because he put pressure on the outside, and he wanted the DBs to make plays, especially because they're the fastest people on the field. So often we're going to be in that set, but I'm saying early on, just to at least to give him an opportunity to learn the defense. Chuck Clark is going to be out there week 1, first drive. Now, when he starts to mix it up, Hamilton's definitely coming out there.
Yeah, another somebody else that we should be keeping an eye on that I think might get a lot of playing time is I forgot his name that quick, but the defensive tackle from Connecticut,
Travis Jones.
Yeah, Travis Jones. Definitely keep an eye on him.
Interested in him. They talking about he was the second best DB, in the room between him and Davis wasn't that big, so to get him
in the 3rd round,
and they say he provides a pass rush. We'll see. I'm more interested in who's going to play left guard for us, right? Ben Powers, Tyree Phillips. Tyree Phillips is the better athlete. He just can't stay healthy. He's rated, I think he's ranked number 2 on the depth chart right now, but the Ravens would be better off with Tyree Phillips. He's a pulling guard. He's mobile. I think that he'll be, especially if Ronnie Stanley played, he'll have that buffer with having 2 good people on it next to him, so he won't have everything on him. He clearly can't play tackle.
He didn't do horrible at tackle.
No, okay.
He didn't do horrible at tackle.
One step below Villanueva. He was
he wasn't that bad. Nah,
listen.
He wasn't that bad.
Y'all do that to my guy. Villanueva he was a better left tackle than right tackle.
No. When we got him, he was a better ball boy than he was a football player at that point. It's horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with that, Juwan J.
Yeah.
He could be a steal though, right?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't play left tackle.
They were smart. They snatched him up from Denver. I remember when Denver cut him. They cut him, right? This is during COVID.
Yeah.
And they cut him when he was working out. And it was like, well, that's a catch-22, because you got to stay healthy. You got to stay in shape. And he got hurt working out, trying to stay healthy for get ready for the season. And then Ravens they went in there and snatched him up, even while he was still hurt. So I thought that was and then they got him at a bargain rate. They got him on some Foreman Mills, real cheap.
Yeah,
real cheap.
My only reservation with him is, what I'm interested to see is he hasn't played left tackle since high school, right? So he's played right tackle, college, and then Denver.
Right.
Well, I think that's where they want him at.
That's what I said.
They got Morgan Moses playing right tackle. They got him playing left tackle.
You can't pay. I keep wanting to call him Murphy, but the left tackle, you can't pay him what you're paying him and then put a guy in front of him. I
agree with you on that.
Yeah, so of course, if Stanley is healthy, he's the starting left tackle.
And truthfully, healthy, he's a top 5 tackle. Period.
Oh yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Hopefully, everybody the injury bug don't bite the team like they did last year. But
so this is my drawback to him being a top 5 tackle. He wasn't a top 5 tackle when Joe Flacco was there, right? I think Lamar, he's the cheat code for a lot of offensive linemen, Stanley included, right? because he's able to evade and escape what would be sack stuff that will go on your jacket is a sack. He out the pocket, and that's a 16-yard gain or 15-yard gain. What I do know is when he was with Joe Flacco, he was about 16th, 17th-ish. He got substantially better when he got a mobile quarterback.
But you know, that's you got to give him a shot there because he was still really young. I mean, granted, truthfully, and just being honest, as an offensive lineman, if you're drafted in the first round, you are going to play. There's no question. There's no, I'm gonna sit behind this guy, learn the offense. As an offensive lineman, if you are drafted in the first round, you're going to play. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I got him in the first. So yeah,
early in the first.
Yeah. He was a little raw. In fact, he wasn't raw. I just don't think he was physically strong enough to deal with what they had at their level. So, I mean, even at his best, I think he was rated in the top when they did the top 100 players. They had him in there like in the 50s somewhere. So
that's not bad for an offensive lineman, though.
I just think Lamar Jackson makes him exponentially better.
It makes everybody better,
and that's my point, right?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll take that every day, man. I'm telling you right now.
And you make Villanueva better.
Well, Lamar Jackson got hurt, and Villanueva was there. So that's all I'm gonna say. The curse of I think he was a spy. Let's call it what it is. I think he was a spy. I think he was the whole time. Pittsburgh sent him here.
Lamar Jackson hurt. That's the case. That was payback for Jacoby Jones then.
I take that. I guess it's fair exchange. It's fair exchange.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm with you. Travis Jones. Like I said, I want to see who want to really step up between Ben Powers and Tyree Phillips. I mean, besides that, the rest of the offensive line is set.
Well, what about Cleveland? What about young fella Cleveland? You don't give him a shot?
Do you know they moved him off of left guard and they moved him down the depth chart to number 4 or number 3 on right guard?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they moved. Like they told him, nope, we don't see you as a left guard. And I guess he played right guard in college.
Yeah,
they moved him.
That's tough.
Talk about a smack in the face.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'll say this, right? A lot of people always question, like, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? And it's because they only see what happens on game day. A lot of times, the guys don't, I mean, you're not going to, if you don't show it in practice, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to show it in the game. So whatever he's doing in practice clearly is, oh, that's too much. I'm sorry. I just saw that comment at the bottom. That's too much.
First of all, I take that trade all day. I don't think
taking
the Bears. I about to say the Bears ain't taking that trade though.
Man. Say that's not enough. You got to send a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, I'm about to say Raycor. He's definitely one of the guys. So look, right quick, while it's on my mind. Well, not what's on my mind, but Tennessee. I want to see how much they play Willis. I really want to see if they're gonna run him out there because clearly they drafted a boy to be the successor to Tannehill. So I want to see if they actually.
Sterling on or something.
What's that?
Sterling was on. Yeah, that's right, Sterling.
Wow.
That's right, Sterling.
Wow.
You smart, Sterling. I don't even know you, and I know you smart.
Sterling is a Steelers fan.
He's a Steelers fan, but
he know he the op.
He knows. He knew what was up.
Hardcore too. So I don't know, man. I don't know about that spy stuff. At the end of the day, everybody knows everybody. There's no too much you can spy on. It's like you spying on your brother. You sleep next door.
Definitely not close.
I just think that he was horrible. He was a bad pickup.
I think that. But what were you going to do at that point, though? I mean,
McCurry played a better left tackle than him.
Yeah, matter of fact, before y'all go on, let me go back to that trade. Somebody is echo. But let me go back to that trade. So, what would make that trade even if they included Patrick Queen in that trade?
That would make it easy. You still got to give us some draft capital for that.
I don't know.
Oh, you talking about maybe the second or the third best middle linebacker in football. Right.
That's on the last year of his contract at that though.
Right, and you got to pay him. Right.
That's why you don't give up that much.
Oh no.
But here's the thing though. Anybody that knows football and watches football know that Queen is not a Mike. He's not a Mike backer.
He's a Will.
No.
So he's definitely, I would definitely a Will. So for you to, and at that point, who do you replace him with?
You're gonna have to replace who with?
I mean, yeah, either or. I mean, if you give up Queen, I'll get again.
Josh Barnes over.
Yeah, I'm about to say the Ravens usually are good at linebackers. They don't even have a problem finding linebackers.
I don't want to get rid of Queen. I think he's gonna have a good season this year.
I think so too.
Well, like you said, he played well in college. One of the problems the Ravens have is they often try to move people out of positions that they did well in college into another position.
Exactly.
He played well in college, but we move him to middle linebacker.
He's not that guy.
Yeah, it's just
he's not that guy.
We did the same with Matt Elam, right? Like in the same positions. Like it just you can't get mad at them when they don't work out. They weren't great at that thing.
And going to this comment, I'm gonna have to agree until Lamar signs that contract. The Ravens are kind of jammed up when it comes to cap space. So hopefully that happens before the season.
I don't believe that. If the Rams sign everybody that they want and they're able to manipulate the cap, right?
It has to be a long-term contract so they can manipulate. So you got guys like Marlon Humphrey. He has a long contract. Stanley has a long contract. Andrews has a. So it has to be. You have to have multiple players under longer contracts to manipulate the money for sure. But like you said, though, here's the thing, though. So I actually learned about this. I was watching Cesario on NBC, and they broke it down to where as though it's cash over cap. So there's two different ways they can work the money, but a lot of teams aren't smart enough, or maybe they just don't want to do it. I for one always said, and I've always since probably about I think 2004, 2005, there are most teams in the league you can look at and question their roster moves. The Ravens are one of them. They have never made a situation where they've sacrificed, and everybody says Joe Flacco when he signed the contract, but I'm like,
you had to do that.
You had to, because at that point you got Kaepernick and Tannehill. These guys ain't won a playoff game in forever, but you're gonna give them $100 million. So what you gonna do for a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Super Bowl MVP at that.
Exactly.
So you're always next up if you're a quarterback. I don't care who you are. You always. Kyler Murray just got paid, and he laid the golden goose in the playoffs last year, and he got paid. Deshaun Watson, guaranteed money,
crazy money.
Quarterback is when I say the only position is the only position when you're the next person up.
Exactly,
and you don't even have to be the best person. At
receivers, they're coming up right now.
But I'm talking about just because you up don't mean you're gonna be the highest paid, right?
That's true.
Because Devontae Cooper Kupp ain't getting nearly with it when he's right.
Now you're right.
I don't care that quarterback position. There's no way in the world Joe Flacco was better than Aaron Rodgers. He was next up. And he got paid.
That's true.
And that's just how the league is set, just because of that position.
At the bottom line, though, like I said, I don't doubt the Ravens' roster moves. I don't doubt guys like the Eagles or the Steelers. Like these teams, consistently I'm talking about year-to-year basis, barring injuries, have always been in the mix. So, but the Ravens, everybody thinks I don't know who it is at this point, because I read that it was Lamar not signing. Then I read that the Ravens they're mad because of Deshaun Watson's guarantee. So they're kind of like but at the end of the day, we know the deal is going to get done. I think anybody that knows.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Lamar's playing this perfect. Dog, think about it, right? The only quarterbacks that are coming up next that's getting paid is Burrow and Herbert. Those are the only two quarterbacks that'll be able to demand money.
Yep.
Lamar is letting the market set itself. Just think if he would have took his contract last year, how mad he would be. Right? How mad would you be if you took a contract for $220 million and you just happened to be, you thought you was the second highest paid quarterback, and now you like 6, 7. and you got Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray in front of you. No, he playing it right. You got to play the long game with contracts because end of the day, they only going 2 big contracts that they're going to be looking at, right? This will be probably like a 5-year deal, $50 million a year. So let's just say 250 because the market is the market, right? The market is the market. You can't go past that. Next thing you know, he's 31. He's in line for another contract, another big contract, and the market is going to be the market then. He already got an NFL MVP, right? He took your team to the playoffs twice. You can't get past that. You can't. So he's playing the long game. You got to. Well, Lamar should. He's not going to break us. He's going to get what he deserves.
I'm about to say, and at the end of the day, even if he breaks the bank, he deserves the bank.
Yeah.
It's like
he's the whole team. You see what happened when he was out.
You can't not pay this man. Like I said, like you said, he's the MVP. And at the end of the day, they can have a bunch of Joe Schmoes over there running around with Lamar. People will pay to see that.
Yes.
So you have to, at the end of the day, pay the man. And they won't pay him. We know that. It's just how I think at this point, maybe
how much.
The thing is, how much and how much of it is it guaranteed? I'll say personally, the floor is Deshaun Watson's contract.
I say the floor is, so you want to be somewhere definitely above Kyler Murray and somewhere close to Aaron Rodgers if you Lamar Jackson. Because the reality is this time next year, Joe Burrow is going to reset the market, right? He going to reset the market.
Definitely more than Kyler.
More than Herbert, but he's going to reset the market.
Now, this is the thing. Does he hold out until next year?
I don't think there's no holdout. That's to me, that's always bad business.
Not hold out as far as not play.
Oh, you talking about just not signing.
Just not signing and wait until Joe Burrow and Herbert get their contract.
The only thing with that is, do you want to take a chance and not play? Like we've seen what happened with Dak Prescott. We've seen what happened with Earl Thomas. These dudes on that last year of their deals.
Yeah, but look what happened to Dak. He still got
that's
paid.
What I was about to say.
He got paid, but just imagine had he played the entire season and actually won an MVP.
But he's still that's not good enough with that quarterback position.
But at this point, we're gonna say what if? I mean, me personally, I don't think the Cowboys are going to do anything until Jerry Jones is gone from that organization. But at the end of the day, I don't care what the market says. Well, I do care what the market says, but I'm not taking anything less than what Deshaun Watson got guaranteed. Even what Kyler got, Kyler only got $150 million guaranteed. So the Deshaun Watson full contract being guaranteed, we're talking about $232 million, regardless of the suspension that's coming, regardless of injuries, anything that goes on in between, that's guaranteed. So the floor of that is 232. That's where I'm starting at. I'm coming to the door with a shirt on that says 232.
I think I'm gonna go back to what this Cirque said. I'm thinking it's gonna be somewhere around 250, 255.
And I'm fine with that. If 240 million, if 240 guaranteed.
But he can easily just get right below Aaron Rodgers, get $49 million a year with all of the contract guaranteed, right? That could be his parameter. Just imagine this, because people say, why wait? Because he may get injured. He can get injured today or tomorrow. The Ravens still won't pay him. The Ravens still, and if the Ravens don't pay him, the Miami Dolphins will pay him.
Man, listen. Shout out to Bisciotti, because he's damn good owner. He's a damn good owner. So I don't see that happening.
That's like saying Joe Burrow got injured his rookie year. He can always Joe Burrow get injured, God forbid, and I'm not wishing it on him. He took him to a Super Bowl. They gonna pay him. And because he has the luxury of playing the premium position. Now that may not be the same for running back, tight end, wide receiver. But because that he's at the quarterback position, he's gonna get paid. And he's going to get paid whatever is next in line. Because I just give you right back. Joe Flacco. He was a great playoff quarterback.
Regular season, not so much.
That sounds like Eli Manning to me.
But once he won the Super Bowl and was Super Bowl MVP, you write your own check. Yeah. He went into Bisciotti office and said, I want to be the highest paid and I want to be the highest quarterback. And what you gonna say? No, thank you.
I said I knew what was up. Like I said, you can't win the Super Bowl and then they just be like, oh, they first off, you already got bit by that snake letting go of Trent Dilfer, so you're not gonna let that happen twice.
Ever again.
Yeah. So if he came in there asking for your daughter on that contract, he'd probably gave him that too.
The easiest example, though, is how important a quarterback is. In 1 year, the Rams changed their quarterback, and it changed the total complexity of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Bucks.
But
shit.
Even when you get the greatest quarterback ever, I'm talking about you get Matt Stafford and you just trade Jared Goff for Matt Stafford, and you need to make the throw. Cooper Kupp won a triple crown with Matt Stafford.
Whoa! Don't do that, man. Matt Stafford is solid. Unfortunately,
no. I'm not saying I'm just saying the difference a quarterback makes.
Okay.
Right? Goff, he took him to a Super Bowl, but it wasn't because of him.
Nah.
It was because of Todd Gurley. That's when Gurley was in his prime before his knees went out.
Yeah.
But Matt Stafford was the reason why they got that far. Big difference. And he can write his check. He was in Detroit wasting away.
That's a whole nother argument too.
You don't think so?
I mean, there's a lot of guys wasting away for sure. I mean, he probably, to me, I remember when he got drafted, I definitely thought that it was like, okay, nothing special about him. But I don't say he's a Hall of Famer, but he's definitely the top quarterback in that franchise's history for sure.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to the game, right? And let's talk wide receiver. All right. Let's talk wide receiver. So give me what you think your starting your top 4 receivers going to be at the start of the season. And I know we got Bateman number 1, so you can pencil that in. But who you got after that?
You got that, Chuck?
I got Duvernay. It's 2, Crochet 3, and Wiles is 4. And
so you don't see them bringing anybody in?
I mean, the only person, I'm not going to say the only person. It depends on who get cut as they chop down rosters. And the only person that you could bring in right now is the boy from Miami, but he stay hurt, right? He got the speed, but he's the same as Sammy Watkins, right? Like, how many games can he give you at that point? And if you bring somebody in, you got to bump somebody down. So why bring him in if he's not going to be available all the time?
So it's going to be interesting tonight because a lot of their auditions to get that 2-3-3 spot. So I'm imagining we're going to see them playing a lot tonight.
Oh yeah,
and it's not like we all know Lamar's not playing, but they're not playing with a bum quarterback, so they should have some opportunities to.
Are we talking about number 2?
He's not a bum. He's not a bum. He's not a bum. He's a good backup quarterback.
All right, I'll give you that. Solid backup.
Oh yeah.
You're going to see a lot of Slade Bolden tonight. That's what I'm going to say. A lot of Slade Bolden. Get yourself together for that.
Slade's the kicker, though, right? So who do we have in your special teams? Because your special team got Duvernay was brought in. Yeah, he's a good slot or even stretch the field guy. Who's your punt return and kick return guy? Because Duvernay is that guy. But he normally, maybe I might be stretching. You don't want your 2 doing too much of your punt returns and kick returns.
It depends. So he did just come off a Pro Bowl.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to, take what he does best off his plate. But if he's more involved on the offense, you might see one of these rookie DBs or maybe one of these undrafted free agent wide receivers
Now,
and you'll see a lot of that tonight. So
I was going
we'll
to
get a
say,
sense of who that's going to be.
there's one thing that I always have appreciated about Hobbs is that special teams always going to be fine. I think that one of the things that you won't beat the Ravens on, as long as he's been the head coach, is special teams. And they'll find somebody for sure. I was just wondering, would it be Duvernay? Because I feel like he would rather be known as a receiver than a returner.
Yeah.
So we got to hopefully see tonight. Like I said, I do expect to see him and Prochet a lot.
I may be reading this wrong, but if I'm going off how the Ravens are using the media, I almost feel like James Prochet is the second receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see him in the media, you see him, they bringing him up to the podium, he's doing the interviews.
A lot.
And you don't see much of Duvernay at all. So
yeah, remember he was hurt too, right? So he wouldn't have been available. I think Prochet operates best in the slot because they give him some room. Because he's not that big, also. So bigger corners can force him to the sidelines, making him ineligible. But I think
who was that receiver that year that Joe Flacco tore his ACL that went off, number 11 for the Ravens? He was like, that's who he reminds me of.
I can't remember.
That's like an oxymoron, Clay. You said receiver from the Ravens that went off. That's like jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, so you should know who I'm talking about. Then.
That was funny. That was hilarious.
From the Ravens that went off.
And it was the year Flacco tore his ACL.
I couldn't tell you right off the top. Now, just for
anybody in the chat know who I'm talking about.
Anybody that's watching this, just know that this guy is not a Ravens fan.
Mm-hmm.
I do love football. So, of course, being here in Baltimore, I have no choice but to see Ravens everywhere. So
transplant. Oh, my bad. They came out. You heard my mic was on. That's crazy.
Listen,
my mic off.
I can't not. I don't root against the Ravens. I've never rooted against the Ravens. Particularly, I don't root against any NFL team. So, because I don't have a particular team I love. So, I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head who number 11 is, but it's blowing me because I remember him playing. And this is when they wore the mustard pants that year.
Yeah. Something aching. Kamar Aiken. Yeah, Kamar Aiken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, there you go. See, somebody had it.
Yeah. Kamar Aiken, he was pretty much a no-name receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got his chance, he took advantage. And I feel like that's going to be Prochet. And look, a lot of this is overstated sometimes, but if any of I know Justin, you've been in the locker room. Charles, I don't know if you play football or, but like like no football.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
But you just know when you talk to somebody, if they just got that dog in them.
Yeah.
Like I feel like Prochet got that dog in him.
Okay. The crazy thing is, it's amazing how bad the Ravens have been at getting receivers that they farm grown. I look at right up the street, right up the road in Pittsburgh, they grow everything. Everything is organic in Pittsburgh.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Justin, real quick. Let me ask you this question. Did I ask Charles? Charles, don't say nothing. Who's the best receiver that the Ravens ever drafted?
Oh my God. Drafted?
Chat, I want to hear what y'all say too. Who's the best receiver that the Ravens
Bro,
ever
you're going to have to let me sit down for a minute and think about that one. Because I'll get stuck on the bad ones. And it's like they constantly miss. But that is a damn good question.
All right, so in the chat we got Torrey Smith.
That's definitely. I'm sorry, that was obvious to be honest. That is obvious.
All right,
so that is definitely the one. Good job. And listen, I was just arguing with a Broncos fan the other day, And I was amazed at how he stepped up the year they went to the Super Bowl, because when they played Denver, he cooked my guy. I love Chad Bailey. He cooked my guy. I was like, no, bro. Even at the late stage, when he was in Denver, I was like, bro, the second year in Denver, I was like, this dude's going to the Hall of Fame. By far. Stokely, negative.
Was he even drafted by the Ravens?
No, he was a free agent, but definitely not nowhere near Torrey Smith.
So my answer was Hollywood.
Justin, that's right. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Boy, you
welcome, man. Good job.
What? Hey,
look at the numbers, though.
That Detroit game by itself puts him in the top 20 of worst Ravens ever.
I don't know about all that.
Yo, he dropped like 4 balls in the end zone. This shit was crazy.
He did. That was a bad game. But Torrey Smith had some drops too.
Torrey Smith had some damn good catches too.
Yeah, so did Hollywood.
I don't know about clutch though. You talk about you got Torrey Smith when he caught the game winner in Pittsburgh. You got
you know what he did right before he caught that game winner though?
It doesn't matter. He caught the game winner.
But do you know what he did before that?
You wouldn't have the 66-yard field goal if you catch those passes, Hollywood.
What pass he dropped?
He dropped
that last drive
in Detroit.
Yeah, he dropped several touchdowns.
Bro, what?
Several.
I was talking about that drive.
That's why when he went to Denver, they was like, "Yeah, talk about his hands now," because he dove and made a catch. So that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you are paid to do.
I'm not congratulating you on you doing your job, sir.
So
that's like a chef fixing your food.
Hollywood,
like, here go this meal.
The top 5.
Nah,
he don't make the top 5.
He will not make it. If you put him in your top 5, you don't love the Ravens like you think you do.
Yeah, he's definitely in the top 5.
So you look at Chauncey, got a point. Dropping touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. That was a bad game.
Now I know you might be, that's your man. You was happy when they drafted him. I personally think that had he went to another team right after jump, he could have been another AB. But
I think they should have drafted DK.
Don't really fit him. That's what I'm.
That's for sure.
It just don't fit him. That's just like if you would go to state and they not drafting a center that's that just stay in the post. Like Shaq would not do well with Golden State because that's just not the offense. Now watch, he may go off in Arizona, right? Because they spread him out and let him. He gonna be able to use the field and do those things.
All right. So is it fair to say he's the most talented receiver they drafted?
Negative.
Who's the most talented receiver they drafted?
Talented, to be honest, and this might sound crazy, but Rashad Perriman.
He was like a one-trick pony, just like Torrey Smith.
Listen,
no, he had signs.
I watched the boy down in the USF. Dog, I don't know what happened to him. Matter of fact, he got staying power. The dude played in Tampa last year, so I don't understand what happened here in Baltimore. But, bruh,
well, I'm gonna tell you what happened in Baltimore. We just got into the habit of.
Yeah, he definitely go down after
our wide receiver. Like we have great wide receiver coaches now, right? Like T. Martin, the people that developed Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, we brought them on so they could work with our receivers. The Ravens spent a lot of energy on developing linebackers. We are great. Developing corners. We are great. But when you say developing wide receivers, teaching them how to get in and out of routes, that's not something that we did.
At all.
So you can't be upset with the outcome you get, right? Because you don't have nobody. You bringing these kids out of college, the college game, NFL game, different level of physicality at that point, and a different level of technique, right? You can't run by everybody in the NFL, right? Or their scheme to take you out the game.
Point blank, period.
So what they say about Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown was what, a 6th round draft pick? And they developed that, right?
Even
Mike
then,
Wallace, they developed that. Claypool developed that, and watch what they do with Miles Boykin. That's all I'm gonna say. Like,
hold on, he in Pittsburgh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna do that much though.
And he's gonna get the opportunity to be.
They don't. I don't. It's crazy, and not to talk too much about Pittsburgh.
That's a fact, Chauncey. That's a fact.
Yeah. I mean, you can go all the way back to Travis Taylor with that one, but when you go and talk about Pittsburgh, even the guys that come in, like their wide receiver stable is crazy. Their wide receiver stable is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh also threw the ball 60 times a game too.
Listen, even when they wasn't throwing the ball 60 times a game, AB still had 100 catches a year. Mike Wallace still was going off. Who was the cat that wore number 11 before? He came from Clemson. I can't remember his name, but he had the catch and he flipped over and he caught it between his legs. These cats, Mike Tomlin is that guy. It is what it is.
I like Mike Tomlin.
Stable.
That's
whether
my
you
guy.
talk about Juju, whether you talk about Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, you can go
Exactly.
on and on.
Exactly. You can go on and on.
On and on.
Yep.
Now, what they don't develop is cornerbacks. They go somewhere else and get their cornerbacks.
Yeah,
They got
they
Minka
do.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
They got what's the boy name? He played cornerback.
You talking about Joe Hayden?
Joe Hayden came from Cleveland. They don't develop cornerbacks.
Yeah, that's
They
the
develop
tough one.
linebackers.
That's a tough one.
And they develop
I would go on record and say they develop everything but corners.
Yep.
Running backs, linebackers, tight ends.
Definitely linebackers.
Yeah, man.
Definitely linebackers.
D lineman is crazy.
Yeah.
D lineman is crazy. So
Martavis Bryant.
there you go. That listen, and once he left Pittsburgh,
Nothing.
all about him.
You ain't heard nothing about him.
Got all about the boy. So it is what it is, man.
Hey, so hopefully the Ravens are in a position now to start developing some of these receivers.
I'm not trying to sound like I did not like the Bateman pick.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the Bateman. My thing was when you look at, because I follow college football probably like most people follow NFL. When you have those schools that are, climbing the ranks, Minnesota is one of those schools. And they got really good just over a period of time. Coach is doing a real good job building the program up. And Bateman was the guy. And I remember watching him a few times. I watched him when they played Ohio State. I watched him when they played Michigan. And he flashed. He was definitely the guy. I didn't think that they would draft him as high as he got. And I thought I thought it was going to be a second-round pick because receivers always seem to, for some reason, climb harder than they really should. But I was like, I've always been weary of teams drafting people from programs who are just starting to get good.
Well, with that being said, I like what I've seen from him on the field so far.
Yeah, listen, it's some people just have, like you said, that dog mentality, right? Yeah. I think that I go back to when Clemson was really getting good, right? Mm-hmm. You don't even remember who the quarterback was that first year they made it to the Orange Bowl, but he was the program starter. The guy that Winfield and Bateman are the program starters at Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So I might be stretching. I might not be.
And look, now that you mentioned that, when you're talking about that dog mentality, that's why I don't have any faith that what's his name? The fourth wide receiver for the Ravens is going to Tylan Wallace. I don't think he got that in him. He just seemed like too nice of a guy. Like,
come on, man.
But see, they was comparing him to Steve Smith because they said he did have that in him in college, right? But I
haven't seen it yet. But
hey, listen,
showing up.
If it's one thing to be the big dog in school and get to the league and somebody punch you in your face and you be like, "Oh, I ain't the biggest dog no more."
Right.
So we'll see. Like I said, truth be told, it's not this game. It's more or less. There's only 3 preseason games now, so we only have the next game will be the game to know whether or not where really the cream starts to come to the top. So we'll see.
But I feel like this is second year in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the people that's going to be playing today, he's going to be one of those that's in the first couple drives in there with the starters, even though there's no starters playing.
They really the 2s and the 3s and the 4s and the 5s. Because right now, today you'll see more or less the guys that's going to be a special teamers.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to see a little bit from Prochet and Duvernay. I don't know if you're going to see too much of Bateman at all. But I think
Bateman not playing.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see Duvernay, Wallace, Prochet. I don't want to see Likely.
You'll see
I
a lot of
definitely want to say
likely.
likely.
You know what though? I do want to see.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Is likely.
I want to see the big fella they drafted. I think he's from Utah. Man, dude's huge, man. Dude's like 6'8".
Falele.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When I saw that pick, I said, bro, if nobody in the league get the 4 through the 7 right, it's definitely the Ravens.
Yeah.
By far, you guys, how many guys, and even 4 through 7 and undrafted, like it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It is ridiculous how good they actually are picking those, and they just tear the league up because you're getting these dudes for 4 years, dirt cheap. You going down that goddamn Value City, Value Village. I mean, to get these guys, man, you would get them in the 4 through 7. They signing for what? Total of maybe $2 million for 3 years.
Not much at all. So we got about 10 minutes left in the show, right? For the game come on. So I'm gonna go through everybody and get your top 5 people y'all looking forward to seeing play tonight. And also in the chat, I want the same from y'all in the chat. Who's Kamar Aiken? See, I want to see who the top 5 players y'all looking forward to seeing play tonight.
I'm always going to defer to you, Chuck.
All right. I said I want to see Justin Tucker kick an 80-yard field goal. In case y'all not really on it. Like, oh, okay. So I guess I'm the only one. All right. Yes. Cool. All right. So I want to see Beatty. I want to see what he give us out the backfield. I want to see what Pepe Williams gives us, Jalen Armour Davis, because ultimately one of them are going to, if this is Marcus Peters last year, one of them is going to be stepping up for him. Travis Jones and Tyree Phillips, man. I really want to see that battle for left guard kind of be solidified by preseason game 2. I do not believe in Powers, man. He has the wrong name.
Wow. That's tough. Well, I don't watch preseason either, but geez. That's tough. So, of course, those you got your 5, right?
Yeah.
So, truthfully, you're going to go, for me, it's definitely, like I said, not particularly player, but the position, the running back position, the tight end position. I do want to see Powers. I do want to see Cleveland. Hamilton probably won't play as much.
Yeah. So I don't think you're gonna see
the tackles, Moses and James. I think James probably more so because I want to see if he believes in himself enough to play through that Achilles, because it'd be his first time really getting anything. And I'm tripping off of my man and Justin Tucker.
So you do want to see him kick an 80-yard field goal?
I don't want to see him kick an 80.
I think you just said it. I think like subconsciously you just said it. You let it out. Tell us how you feel, man.
But you gotta pay the guy because the guy in Pittsburgh just got paid.
I agree with that, but I still want to see, like, what can he do at this point, right? Would it surprise you if he kicked the 80-yard field goal?
Can he punt?
It would. Now punting would be one. If he could punt as effectively as he kicks, that would be interesting.
The fact that it wouldn't overly surprise a lot of fans if Justin Tucker kicked the 80-yard field goal. That's the level of greatness we expect out of dude, man.
Well, so this guy he's a regular guy. Like most people know him because of Royal Farms and of course the kicking now Detroit. But he goes around the city and kicks field goals at Patterson Park like it's just another day. So
and he kick him from 80 yards. He goes somebody's house.
Because I feel like I've been told by kickers who actually have kicked at the NFL level and at the college level, it's only a mental thing. It's not too physical. So I mean, shit.
So that means a lot of kickers are mentally weak. They are weak individuals mentally because this guy is a serial killer when it comes to kicking. Man, he is laser focused.
Listen.
It's hard to name a better one.
You got a special teams guy as your head coach. What do you expect?
Well, he had an eye for talent to say he would be good. But the boy just got it, right? 90%, 91% on field
Something
goal.
crazy.
That's
Something
crazy.
That is crazy. Now, definitely, if you had him and not Cundiff, you probably had 2 Super Bowls.
That's a fact.
I would agree. Yeah.
I want to see Hamilton because he got messed up in practice over and over.
He got mossed in practice.
Oh, mossed.
But that's a little unfair for him, right? Because safeties don't play that close to the line of scrimmage for a reason. That's why they have everything in front of them.
Yeah, everybody
right? Yeah, they don't play that close to the line of scrimmage. What he does have that probably not a lot of safeties have is he's able to read plays and anticipate where the ball is going to be.
And he got that range to get
there. Dude is huge, bro. Yeah. Like I haven't seen. I mean, you got guys that came out like Thomas Davis and Sean Taylor. Them dudes were crazy big at safety.
Taylor Mays.
Thomas Davis was huge, right? Taylor Mays was retarded though. We ain't gonna count him. But
okay, all right, let's go with it.
You got those dudes with those measurables that can still move and got hips enough to cover. So I feel like once he catch on, we ain't gonna see too much of Chuck too much.
Right, I agree with you on that. I mean, you don't take him 14-4, him to come off the bench. I agree with you on that.
And the crazy part is he was touted as a top 5 pick coming into the season last year.
Yeah, so, but he had safety, so
right. No, don't say that because safeties get drafted that high. I think that truthfully,
his 40 time killed him.
Yeah,
like that. If you want to look at what caused him to fall, the only thing was his 40 time. He ran a 4.7 ish.
It was something crazy. So, I don't remember exactly.
But again, like those workouts don't mean nothing. Like Orlando Brown, his workout was horrible.
And
you
fell to the third round.
He bought him and put him at right tackle, and we was good for 4 years. Well, 3 strong years. Oh yeah, I heard that the Bengals were talking trash.
Ooh, but listen,
they went lying.
I'm going to say this.
I ain't catch that episode. What they say? What they say?
I ain't see. I actually started watching it, but I'm gonna let you spoil it for you. I'm gonna tell you what I got now.
I'm gonna spoil it for you. So they had all 3 of the receivers on there, and they said, "Can you y'all fantasize about going against any teams or any teams that DBs that y'all killed?" All of them said, "Yeah, the Ravens, because when they, if they want to double team 2 of us, you can't double team all of us." Right, and they were specifically saying, 500-yard game, talking about the Ravens and how they dominated, and they not lying. Right now, what they failed to mention was the second game. We didn't have any of our starters in. Marlon was out, Marcus Peters was out, Chuck Clark. Like we lost a lot of people.
Averett was out.
So I mean, that's a disclaimer to that.
Here's the thing, right? And I'm going on record right now. This is the first time I've ever saying this on social media. The Bengals will not make the playoffs.
Ooh.
They will not make the playoffs. And here's my reasoning why. You have Joe Burrow hit the scene. Nobody had film or nobody knows what he does and what he doesn't do, what he can and can't do. We have over 18 games of film on Joe Burrow. You don't think these dudes broke that offense down? Like salt and water. Yeah, I understand the talent, but I don't like the head coach is C- at best. They're not going to adjust the way a good head coach would. He's not going to adjust the way a good head coach is.
The O-line's still some trash. Say that.
I don't. And they brought in a often injured offensive tackle, Leo Collins. Maybe he plays the whole season. Who knows? But at the end of the day, everybody has film. It's just like I called it, and of course I wasn't on the platform like this, but I said when Lamar started, I said the Ravens gonna be boom or bust because they don't know, the league doesn't know what they got coming, and if the league catches up, they're gonna be terrible. If they don't, the Ravens gonna be crazy good. And what happened? 14-2. Same way with Cincinnati. Nobody knew what Joe Burrow was capable of as a whole season, and you got a whole season of Joe Burrow now, and you believe me. After the Super Bowl, but before the Super Bowl even ended, they was already in the lab breaking down every game of Cincinnati. So I see Cincinnati at best 7-11 or 7-10.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And you got to remember they playing the first place schedule this year, right? So last year they played the last place schedule. This year they played the first, so they play the best of everyone.
And everybody coming for them. You can't go on the Pivot, which is one of the top podcasts, at least in our culture. It's up there. So you going on there talking like that? You don't think they're gonna play that with the week of Cincinnati week?
Talking reckless.
You don't think the DB is gonna have that playing in the meat room?
It was bad.
Yeah, that's crazy. But people, we at 7:30, so it's time to tune in to the game.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll be back here next week, streaming before the Ravens next week game. So make sure if y'all watching on YouTube right now, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe, so y'all know whenever we post a new video or whenever we're going live. Also, if there's any breaking news that has to relate to the Ravens, we'll pop up on here and drop a video. So make sure y'all stay subscribed to everything that's going on. So we're gonna see y'all next week. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And again, we'll see y'all on the next video.
80-yard field goal. 80-yard field goal.